To online English class. In the previous class, ma'am has discussed 2 deer. I am going to recapitulate that and we will continue.
Sir, video is not coming, sir.
2 deer. It is a short story written by Count Leo Tolstoy. Count Leo Tolstoy is a very popular novelist from Russia. Tolstoy was not only a novelist but he was a reformer also, social reformer, and he has written so many novels and short stories. Among them, 2 of his novels are very popular, that is Anna Karenina and War and Peace. These 2 novels are very popular. Now, in the given short story, 2 Deer, Count Leo Tolstoy is criticizing the ruling class by presenting the kingdom Monaco and a murder case which happened in Monaco, and he proves how the king and the ruling class in that kingdom Monaco failed to solve this murder case. So as soon as we heard the word king, royalty, richness, all these words will come to our mind. So king means who is very rich, who is very royal. But here, instead of focusing on that royalty and richness, here the narrator is focusing on the decision making capacity which is not there in that king, in that Monaco kingdom. So ruling class means the one who is able to lead and the one who is able to take sensible decisions. The king should be able to lead his people and he is able to take sensible decisions. But here in this toy kingdom, the king and his ministers and the officials, they failed to take any sensible decision. Let us see how they failed and how Count Leo Tolstoy is criticizing in an indirect way. He is not criticizing directly, so he is using a kind of sarcasm, and we can call this story 2 Deer as a satire. Satire on the ruling class. As Kautilya has written in his Arthashastra. So before taking any decision, the king should be aware of so many things. As written by Kautilya in his Arthashastra, so as written, Prajasukhe sukham raja prajanacha hite hitam nartam priyam hitam raja prajanatum priyahitam. It means before taking any decision, the king should think about the welfare of the people, and the king should not take decision which he himself decides is right, but instead he should take a decision which the people will think as right. As Kautilya has said, Prajasukhe sukham raja prajanacha hite hitam nartam priyam hitam raja prajanatum priyahitam. It means the king should take the decision in according to the people and in convenience to the people. The king should not take decision without considering his people. Whatever the decision he takes, it should be a goodness bringing and well bringing for that people. Then he should take the decision. Here, let us start how the people is unable to take such type of decisions and how Count Leo Tolstoy is criticizing that ruling class. 2 Deer. Near the borders of France and Italy on the shore of Mediterranean Sea lies a tiny little kingdom called Monaco. Many a small country town can boast more inhabitants than this kingdom, for there are only about 7,000 of them all told. And if all the land in that kingdom were divided, there would not be an acre for each inhabitant. But in this toy kingdom, there is a real kinglet, and he has a palace and courtiers and ministers and a bishop and generals and an army. It is not a large army, only 60 men in all, but still it is an army. There are also taxes in this kingdom as elsewhere, a tax on tobacco and on wine and spirits, and a poll tax. But though the people there drink and smoke as people do in other countries, there are so few of them that the prince would have been hard put to it to feed his courtiers and officials and to keep himself, if he had not found a new and special source of revenue. This special revenue comes from a gaming house where people play roulette. People play, and whether they win or lose, the keeper always gets a percentage on the turnover. And out of his profits, he pays a large sum to the prince. The reason he pays so much is that it is the only such gambling establishment left in Europe. Some of the little German sovereigns used to keep gaming houses of the same kind, but some years ago they were forbidden to do so. The reason they were stopped was because these gaming houses did so much harm. A man would come and try his luck, then he would risk all he had and lose it. Then he would even risk money that did not belong to him and lose that too. And then in despair, he would drown or shoot himself. So the Germans forbade their rulers to make money in this way. But there was no one to stop the Prince of Monaco, and he remained with the monopoly of the business. Now, in the beginning of the story itself, the narrator is describing, presenting a kingdom called Monaco. And where the kingdom Monaco lies, near the borders of France and Italy, on the shore of Mediterranean Sea. So this location is very important, you need to remember it. Near the borders of France and Italy, and on the shore of Mediterranean Sea lies a tiny little kingdom. Why he is calling it as tiny little? Because the population of that kingdom is very less, and even the vastness, the area of that kingdom is also very less. Lies a tiny little kingdom called Monaco. Many a small country town can boast more inhabitants than this kingdom. It means whatever the population is there in this Monaco kingdom, more than that, a small town can boast. Boast means speak prestigiously. They can speak prestigiously, they can speak with lot of prestige that they have more inhabitants than Monaco kingdom. Why? Because the total population, the total inhabitants of that Monaco kingdom was only 7,000. Only 7,000 people, they were living in the kingdom of Monaco. And if the available land in that kingdom was divided, then each inhabitant would not even get an acre. It means the total available land for each inhabitant is less than an acre. But still, such a type of tiny, small little kingdom, in this kingdom we have a real kinglet. Next to king. Not exactly a king, so a kinglet. Similar to king. And he has a palace, courtiers, ministers, and a bishop, and generals, and an army. Being a kinglet, he was possessing all the materials, all the qualities, and all the assets a king should possess. So which are they? He has a palace. First, king means he should be having a huge and beautiful big palace that he was having, and courtiers, ministers to take suggestions. He has ministers as well, and a bishop, generals, the chief of the army, and he was having an army as well. So he was having a palace, courtiers, ministers, bishop, generals, and army as well. When it comes to army, it is not a large army, only 60 men in all. So look at this. So army means we imagine thousands of people and lakhs of people together. But here in the army of Monaco, we have only 60 men. Technically speaking, it is not at all an army. But here he is saying, the narrator is saying that still it is an army. So this is the sarcasm. Ironically he is saying, by number it is not an army, but by name it is an army. And how the king used to collect revenue, income, to maintain and to feed his courtiers, his officials, and to keep himself, to maintain his whole kingdom, how he used to collect revenue. He used to collect revenue by imposing taxes on tobacco, wine and spirits. He used to collect tax from the people on tobacco, wine, spirits. Along with this, there was a special tax, separate tax, that is poll tax. Poll tax means individual tax. Per head, each inhabitant has to pay this much amount. So that is called as poll tax, individual tax. But the people there drink and smoke as people do in other countries. It means generally wherever you go, any country, people they drink and smoke. Just like other countries, in this kingdom also, the people used to drink and smoke. But the number of people who used to drink and smoke, it was very, very less. Means there were only few people who used to drink and smoke. So that's why it is a problem for the kinglet. So why it is a problem for the kinglet? Because whatever the income you are getting, it's too less. It is too meager. Less amount, meager amount. So that's why this amount was not sufficient to feed himself, his courtiers and his officials. So there was a problem. And that's why the prince, the kinglet, he just found a special and new source of revenue. That special and new source of revenue comes from a gaming house. You need to underline this. So which is a special source of revenue? Gaming house is a special source of revenue. Where people play roulette. So people used to play roulette, they used to gamble in this gaming house, and by this the king used to make money. How the king used to make money? People play, and whether they win or lose, the keeper always gets a percentage on the turnover. It means if a person has gone to play in that gaming house, whether he wins or loses, but he has to pay certain amount to that gaming house keeper. And that gaming house keeper, he used to get huge profit, and he pays out of his profits a large sum to the prince. So ultimately the prince was collecting the tax from the gaming house to fulfill, to feed his courtiers, officials and himself. And now the reason he pays so much is that it is the only such gambling establishment left in Europe. So underline this point as well. So which is the only gambling establishment left in Europe? That is Monaco. Now except Monaco, that is gambling house, there is no other gambling house, gaming house in the entire Europe. That's why he used to collect so much of tax. And earlier, some of the little German sovereigns used to keep gaming houses of the same kind. So many years ago, so many years earlier, even German sovereigns, in Germany there were same kind of gaming houses, but the people of Germany, they forbade their rulers to prohibit, to stop this kind of gaming houses. Why? Because these gaming houses did so much harm. Yes, they were very harmful for the people. How they were harmful? For example, a man would come and try his luck, then he would risk all he had and lose it. So a person goes to check his luck. When he checked his luck, he loses the money whatever belongs to him at first level. Second level, he used to take debt and loan from his friends, and he used to lose that money too. Means the money which does not belong to him, he lost that money as well. And whatever property, whatever assets he had, he used to put that on bet. Then he loses that also. After losing everything, in despair, he would drown or shoot himself. It means after losing in the gaming house, people used to commit suicide. So that's why it is very dangerous, very harmful for the precious lives of the people. That's why the Germans, they forbade their rulers to make money in this way. So the Germans completely prohibited, stopped these gaming houses. Now, there was no one to stop the Prince of Monaco, and he remained with a monopoly of the business. So now there is nobody to stop this Prince of Monaco. There is nobody to stop the King of Monaco. So that's why he continues with the business. Not only that, he owns a monopoly. Monopoly means single owner. So why? Because that is the only gaming establishment left in Europe. So he is the single owner of that business. So that's why he owns a monopoly. So now everyone who wants to gamble goes to Monaco. So if anybody wants to play gamble, they have to go to this gaming house.
Mute చేయమని చెప్పండి వీడియో అమ్మాయి మ్యూట్ చేస్తాను.
Students, I request you to all of you mute your video and audio as well. Block your video and mute audio. So now everyone who wants to gamble goes to Monaco. Whether they win or lose, the prince gains paid. So because of this reason, because of the reason that only left out gambling establishment in the Europe is Monaco, so everyone goes to Monaco to play gambling. And now the king used to get huge profit. You can't earn stone palaces by honest labor. So you need to underline this proverb, this saying. Why? Because this is very much related with the situation of the king. You can't earn stone palaces by honest labor. It means, so if you are too honest and you want to build a palace. So imagine your income is very less and you are getting that income through honesty in a moral way. Then if you want to build a palace, then you can't build. Why? Because your salary, whatever the revenue income you are getting, it's very less and it is in a moral way. Then you need to go out of that morality. You should be getting income and generating revenue in an immoral way. So just like the king of Monaco, he knows that it is bad, it is dirty business, but what is he to do? Which is dirty business? Gambling or gaming house is a dirty business. Why? Because it is too much harmful for the people, but still he continues because he is a king and he has to maintain himself, he has to pay salary to his officials and he has to feed the courtiers. A king should be able to fulfill all the requirements of his people and his officials. So that's why we call a king. King means very rich. King means who is having royalty. King means who can spend money as he wants to spend. But the major difference between an ordinary man and king is not only in the term of richness, not only in the term of royalty, but in the terms of decision making, in the terms of leading people, in terms of taking sensible decisions, in terms of solving the case quickly and sensibly and cleverly. But here, Kinglet is not that much clever. Why he is not that much clever? Let's see. He has to live and to draw revenue from drink and tobacco is also not a nice thing. The king knows that it is not a good thing to collect tax from tobacco and wine. It is not a good thing. Why? Because if he is collecting tax from tobacco and wine and spirits, it means he is encouraging people to smoke and drink, which is very bad. He too knows it, but what he has to do? He is helpless. Why? Because he lives, reigns, rakes in the money and holds his court with all the ceremony of a real king. Yes, to hold his court with the ceremony of a real king. It means in his belief, not only in his belief, generally people believe that king means royalty, royalty means king, king means richness, richness means king. And king can do anything and king can lead a luxurious life. That is the point here. King means luxury. King means richness. King means royalty. So just like we think, even the king thought that he has to live like a king. So he lives, rakes in the money. Rakes means he spends lot of money and holds his court with all the ceremony of a real king. Just to hold his court, his kingdom with the ceremony, celebrations, happiness. For joy, he used to spend money. To celebrate, he used to spend money. Because king always lives a happy life. No sorrows. Why? Because he has a lot of money. He can spend easily. As much as he wants, he can spend. At last, he has his coronation, his levees, he rewards, sentences and pardons. He also has his reviews, councils, laws and courts of justice, just like other kings, only on a smaller scale. So this is the major difference between the king of Monaco and other kings. What is the major difference? Even he has his coronation. Coronation means official ceremony where the prince becomes a king. Crowning ceremony. He wears a crown officially and he becomes a king. His levees. So levees means he used to give excuses. He used to give orders as well. He rewards, and not only that, he used to give rewards for his courtiers, for his court poets, court musicians. If somebody has done something great, or if somebody wrote a poem on the king, if he likes that poem, then he used to give reward. If somebody wants in a debate, then the king has to give them the reward. Like that, he used to give prizes and rewards. Sentences, he used to give judgments. Pardons, he used to give excuses. If somebody has done wrong and they ask excuse from the king, then the king should show mercy on the people, then he used to give pardons. And he also has his reviews. He used to conduct meetings, he used to take the suggestion of his ministers. He used to have councils, he used to have conferences as well. Laws, he used to make laws. So here the king has to play so many roles. He is a protector, he is a lawmaker, then he is a warrior, not one. So there are so many skills and talents, completely makes a perfect king. Courts of justice, just like other kings, only on a smaller scale. So just like the other kings, even the king of Monaco had each and everything, but the major difference is that everything on a smaller scale. You need to underline this, everything on a smaller scale. Like this, the king used to collect revenue, the king used to maintain his kingdom and he used to feed his courtiers. So far everything is good, but later what happens? A huge problem, unsolvable problem comes to the king and his kingdom. So what is that problem? We will see in next class. And whatever we have discussed so far, I am going to dictate 1 mark questions and 4 mark questions. So I ask you to write down all these questions. So first write down 1 mark questions. First question. Which are the 2 popular novels of Count Leo Tolstoy? Which are the 2 popular novels of Count Leo Tolstoy? Next question. Mention the exact location of the Kingdom of Monaco. Mention the exact location of the Kingdom of Monaco. Next question. Why Monaco is called as a tiny little kingdom? Why Monaco is called as a tiny little kingdom? Next question. What many country town can boast? What many country town can boast when compared to Monaco? When compared to Monaco. Next question. What is the population of the Kingdom of Monaco? What is the population of the Kingdom of Monaco? Next question. How much land each inhabitant how much land each inhabitant would get, how much land each inhabitant would get if all the land were divided, if all the land were divided. Next question. How many people were there? How many people were there in Monaco army? How many people were there in Monaco army? Next question. Which are the commodities? Which are the commodities on which? Which are the commodities on which the king used to impose tax? Which are the commodities on which the king used to impose tax? Next question. Why the revenue from the taxes, why the revenue from the taxes was not sufficient, why the revenue from the taxes was not sufficient? Next question. Which is the special source of revenue? Which is the special source of revenue? Which is the special source of revenue? Next question. In gaming house, which game was played by the people? In gaming house, which game was played by the people? Next question. Who gets a percentage on the turnover? Who gets a percentage on the turnover? Who gets a percentage on the turnover? Next question. Who pays a large sum to the prince? Who pays a large sum to the prince? Next question. Which is the only gambling establishment left in Europe? Which is the only gambling establishment left in Europe? Which is the only gambling establishment left in Europe? Next question. Who kept gaming houses? Who kept gaming houses earlier? Who kept gaming houses earlier? Who kept gaming houses earlier? Next question. Why the gaming houses were stopped? Why the gaming houses were stopped? Why the gaming houses were stopped? Next question. Who forbade their rulers? Who forbade their rulers to make money? Who forbade their rulers to make money through gaming house? Who forbade their rulers to make money through gaming house? Next question. Who remained with a monopoly? Who remained with a monopoly of the business? Who remained with a monopoly of the business? Next question. Next question. Where people have to go where people have to go, where people have to go to gamble, where people have to go to gamble. Next question. Mention the proverb used by the narrator. Mention the proverb used by the narrator. Next question. Why the king continues? Why the king continues? Why the king continues to collect revenue? Why the king continues to collect revenue? Though he know that it is a dirty business. Why the king continues to collect revenue, though he know that it is a dirty business? Next question. Which is not a nice thing? Which is not a nice thing? Which is not a nice thing? Next question. How the king holds his court? How the king holds his court? How the king holds his court? Next question. What is the major difference between the king of Monaco? What is the major difference between the king of Monaco and other kings? So these are all 1 mark questions. Now I am going to dictate you 4 marks questions. Write down. First one. Describe Monaco kingdom. Describe Monaco kingdom in the words of the narrator. Describe Monaco kingdom in the words of the narrator. Second question. Write a note on gaming houses. Write a note on gaming houses. Write a note on gaming houses. Next question. Write a note on the revenue of Monaco kingdom. Write a note on the revenue of Monaco kingdom and its consequences. Write a note on the revenue of Monaco kingdom and its consequences. Next question. You can't earn stone palaces. You can't earn stone palaces by honest labor. You can't earn stone palaces by honest labor. Explain with reference to the story. Explain with reference to the story. Next question. Write a note on the different roles played by the king. Write a note on the different roles played by the king in the kingdom of Monaco. In the kingdom of Monaco. Write a note on the different roles played by the king in the kingdom of Monaco. Okay, these are all the 4 mark questions. I hope all of you have understood whatever we have discussed. So I request you to answer all these 1 mark questions and 4 marks questions, and read the story once again. We will discuss the remaining story in the next class. Until then, take care. Bye.
Okay students, ಕಾನ್ವರ್ಸೇಷನ್ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಲಾಗ್ ಔಟ್ ಆಗಿ.